One of the things that may really help give us a window into the Church of God in Christ is we've already heard two titles, and I think we need a little lexicon from you. If you could help us with elder, presiding bishop, help us understand the polity structure, because most of us use elder and deacon to refer to lay leadership in the church, which is fine, and we use pastor, and we have executives and things, but help us understand a little bit of the structure that you're in and how that functions and empowers the people of God.
Yeah, well, basically, the way the Church of God in Christ was structured, the elder is the pivotal base name within the organization,
Okay.
The local pastor.
Yeah, the local pastor. Everybody that becomes a pastor or bishop or anything else, they have to first be an elder, first, and be an ordained elder. But and then from there, pastor. The significance of the elder, though, in the polity and the political structure of the church goes back to how Bishop Mason organized his organization, the Church of God in Christ. Actually, he set up what you call a General Assembly, and it's kind of comparable to Congress and the Senate in a sense. So basically, they make the general body decisions. It has to be based on the vote, even though the presiding bishop or the leaders do what they do administratively, but it has to run by the general body, and that general body is elders. So elders usually congregate and every year, to participate. So you can be a pastor, bishop, and then they start including, the women. So we always have what you call a state supervisor or a state mother. She was kind of alongside the bishop. We let the women, Bishop Mason set up where the women serve in a leadership role kind of adjacent to the men. So we called him, this was the bishop, and he would always have a lady to work with him. That's how Bishop Mason set it up. So you couldn't serve as a bishop without having a lady serving with you that would be working the women's ministry. So that's the way we started it out very early in the 1911.
So when people, by the way, this is important vocabulary. So when we talk about mothers of the church, we're talking about significant women that in other movements would be called assistant superintendents, or they would be called supervisors or leaders. So
Exactly.
these are significant sisters of spiritual authority and service.
Because a lot of times they had delegation of a lot of women under them. So you would have the state mother, you have the bishop, he'd have the pastors, the elders under him, then you'd have the state mother or supervisor, she would have district missionaries, and then the missionaries and women evangelists. So she was like governance of the women's side of ministry, and then the men, on the male side. So, that was kind of unique to Kojic and a lot of the other denominations, Pentecostal, because the women were kind of thrust out there early, in the process. So he kind of kept that dichotomy of Azusa, of the women being out front. That's kind of where Bishop Mason got that from. Okay. Because he was from a Baptist background, and that was not his Baptist view. So I figured that out historically. He didn't get that from the Baptists.
No, we didn't.
You know.
So when